Sponsored by Sue Minahan.
Welcome to Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests bring you leading-edge astrology conversations through a journey of soul growth patterns connecting astrology's energetic cycles. Get ready to understand your path in the cosmic roots of the stars.
Rose Minahan Talk Cosmos on the 29th of January. And this is Astro Jam. It's a quarterly event that occurs for 2 years now. I'm a little discombobulated since I did all this intro, and now it's the second time for now time, right? With Uranus. When Uranus is direct, according to vibrational energy, it is the very moment of creation. And so it can seem like for all of us, I believe, where it's this kaleidoscope of energies asking all the things in the past that's happened recently. And with Mars, that achievement energy in Mercurial Gemini, there's many factors involved. I'm jumping to the point, but the fact is that today is the 29th again of January with all the planets direct, and we're missing 2 people, but we have still a good number of us. So back to the fact, and that is that AstroJam is like theater, and we will get to that. And it's going to occur every 5th Sunday of the various months. So subscribe, find out. The next one will be in April. But today I'm ready to begin. So David, if we can have the slides, and I'll do the introductions. Okay, thank you very much. No, I want the slides. Yes. Oh, thank you. Okay. So we have Israel. He's in England. He may not be able to attend. If so, he will come in. And I have Marie O'Neill. And Marie O'Neill, yes, and can I see the, oh, thank you so much, is founder of Padma Life Coaching. If you can, David, you could have Marie here instead of me. That would be just great. Okay, everybody's there. But now I can't see the slides. Okay, perfect. It's Uranus and we're working it. Marie is in Santa Rosa, California, the founder of Padma Life Coaching. She's a life coach, astrologer, speaker, past life regression facilitator, lecturer. She does retreats. She's also a distinguished Toastmaster and on the board of directors with TEDx in Sonoma County, and a mentor with the Forest Center of Evolutionary Astrologer. She lectures at conferences. She's a published author. Her book, And the Lotus Opened. She facilitates her virtual healing retreat twice a year with different dates. So thank you very much. You're wonderful to have on this event.
Hi, everybody.
The next soul is Michael Bartlett. And Michael Bartlett at coremichael.com focuses on esoteric astrology with the depths of outer planets. And his website, Core Energetic Training, is highly intuitive with 3 decades of business experience and 2 decades of astrological wisdom. He's the author also of 2 books. One is Astrological Mavericks, which he did a presentation last 2022, late. I think it was in November. Well, we can check. The dates are escaping me, but it was in the autumn. Do you have what it takes to change the world? And then Astro Theater, which is exactly what we're doing here, but online, a revolutionary approach to the ancient art of astrology. Since Michael I don't say completed, but he held the position of interim president just recently with Kepler College as a service. He also offers webinars and workshops through Kepler College and many intensive in readings. So thank you, Michael. It's always great to have you. Jennifer Ng at jeningress.com practices Bachi, if I'm saying that right, 4 pillars, which is Western astrology, and or Eastern astrology, pardon me, and classical, get tongue in the right manner here, feng shui. And it happens to be of the Yellow Hat sect, and it's widely practiced in East Asia. And she studied under the retired master David Lee in Toronto. Yeah. Jen is a horary forecasting synastry astrologer who consults and practices a blend of Western traditional and modern astrology and holds certificates, a horary practitioner certificate, professional astrologer's diploma from the International Academy of Astrology. And she teaches 4 pillars at International Academy of Astrology. She's given speeches, and she's a member of various networks, including the Kepler Astrology Toastmasters Club, of which I'm a member of too. And we welcome everybody that wants to join. And Jen also serves on the nonprofit volunteer board of Astrology Toronto as co-president. So thank you, Jen. It's a treat. And last week, if people want to know more about lunar astrology, just go to Talk Cosmos YouTube, because that is right there and very dynamic. Sean Kelly. We're glad to have Sean. He's on the road right now, but he's taking a break just to join us for this first half. And he has his site, Evolutionary Astro, and also Anthology Brands. And he understands the symbolism innately through thousands of charts. He's worked with world's renowned astrologers from Kelly Fox, Jan Spiller, Henry Setzler, Michael Luton, Rick Levine, Jeff Jower. He did the driving business in the 2000s for the site we're so familiar with, tarot.com. And he has been, fortunately, a wonderful member of Astro Jam. So there we have our panelists of 5, and we are so glad. Thank you. And myself, that's right. And I am an eclectic evolutionary astrologer and members of activities and vice president of the Washington State Astrological Association. So you can check all of this if you do go to our slides on YouTube. So what is Astro Jam? It is online astro theater. It's a dialogue. And I paraphrase somewhat from Michael's book that he wrote, to give a plug, an accurate one, a dialogue of planets. It's an inherent vibrational energy as I see it, but it's expressed through archetypal characteristics. So the planets become actors, the houses become stages. So we, as the planet actor, we play out these zodiacal, the zodiac with all its 12 signs, whatever sign they're in. There we go, a little picture. Now I'm going to bring up this next chart. This is going to be our interim, like the side. If we were in a melodrama, we went kind of cut things away a little bit here so we don't get mixed up, because after we go through our enactment, we will reveal and display to ourselves what this is and what we think. So there's no rules, everything goes, and game on. Whoops, what did I do? Oh, yes, that's right. I changed things. I put down the chart. The clue is 20th century chart, and hoping it might be easy for our viewers and ourselves, I identified where the planets are. So if I say Ceres, I know where Ceres is. If I say moon, I know where moon is. We might say moon Aquarius, which happens to be 7th house for those that are in podcasts. But the point is, we want to be spontaneous, and we want a picture which will evolve as we go. So with this said, I shall start. I am the sun in Sagittarius, 6th house. Oi! I am wanting to go in that direction of a new belief system. I know it's there. I'm trying to expand and contract. I'm going to get this. If I have to just dissolve everything somehow, I will do it.
May I go?
Well, oh, just go.
Oh, okay. I am the moon in Aquarius in the 7th house, as well, close to the cusp of within 5 degrees of the 8th house. But I'm going to read it in the 7th house.
Just speak it. Just speak it.
Okay.
It's okay.
So I'm the moon, and I need my relationships to be different and intellectual and out of the box, maybe scientists or inventors. And I like to learn things through my relationships as well as on an intimate level. But I can also change my mind and quickly form new, other exciting relationships. Out with the old, in with the new.
I am Saturn in Pisces. And because I'm in Pisces, I'm not at home. I have new skills. I have water skills that I have to use. And it's not quite easy for me to use those skills because I'm happiest, of course, in earth and in air. In this water, I am learning I am helping to go deep and find structures to go deep into the psyche, to expand into the all, the everything. And I'm doing this through helping people I'm doing this in the house of death and the house of the occult. And because I'm in that house, it's very important that I have a strong foundation so that I don't find myself out in the cosmos with no way back to reality.
While I am a Cancer rising individual, I have Uranus on the midheaven, retrograde in fixed Taurus. I need a level of freedom that sometimes even surprises myself. I need change. I like things in a certain way of having my forms and doing my work in a certain way, but I attract very interesting, oddly persnickety individuals towards me who I work with to show them ways of having a more fulfilling and enjoyable life.
I am Mars in the 4th house. What a loaded 4th house with that Cancer rising for Mars to be there. I am focused my energy on nurturing myself, nurturing others, putting neat, beautiful bows on things that probably shouldn't have bows on them. And I get emotional fulfillment out of this. So, Mars is a real keystone for this chart for me because of the Cancer rising ruled by the moon and that Mars in the 4th. And it's really about the sword of justice and with that Capricorn sun, the hard decision, or excuse me, the Mercury in Capricorn hard decision making with Ceres there. It's more of that nurturing. Whatever this chart is, I'm here to nurture. That's my action.
Oh my goodness, now I'm getting it. Here I am, the sun, and I'm supposed to be nurturing some kind of new belief. The problem is I'm feeling right now is that things keep getting dissolved. It's like, how do I get these existential wounds? Here I am in a house of thinking about healing, of 6th house healing, and yet I see out in the world these horrible wounds that are just so dreadful, And if I could just give salve, where's the salve in life? Come on, Psyche, where is my salve?
I am Mercury, and I think a lot about how practical ideas in terms of how to do business. And I really approach my relationships with a plan. And we have to get along. We have to have a plan and have goals in order to work together.
Well, I know you're going to feel my soft and loving Cancerian energy when you meet me. You might feel a little bit of a iron fist within my velvet glove because I have Pluto in the first house in Cancer in conjunct my sun. So there's just this rub, you know, something that has to come in, you know, do I want freedom? Do I want security? And Pluto wants to blow up. You know, the Sagittarius gets so full of itself anyway. It needs to just kind of come back down to reality anyway and like stop going off on all these journeys. So, you know, I don't mind holding this position with relationship to the sun.
I am Neptune in Virgo, opposed Saturn. And in fact, a grand square here, I kind of plug into at least a T square. I'd say a grand square with the nodes, but I am Neptune, and I'm here to show that there's this, that I'm disrupting a belief system and trying to figure out how to get it to the old traditional stuff to dissolve, so I can have room to grow. And I'm stopped by, like, I can't communicate some of these things. It's difficult to communicate some of the fundamental aspects of the spirituality I'm looking to express.
I'm Chiron in the 12th house, and I have a wound with God. I was betrayed at an early age, and I was told that if I shared what my truth was, if I spoke out loud, that something might happen. And so it has taken me a long time to find my voice.
Well, I am Uranus in Taurus, and I'm here to tell you that I'm bringing earthquakes and lightning bolts. And this is coming to society, to people who don't even know me. They're going to see me this way. I'm going to affect what you believe concerning your value system, your money. What do you value? I'm here to help you get clear on what that is. And I'll do it by shocking you. You'll have these wonderful insights through whatever it is I do, whether I offer earthquakes, whether I offer a flood, whatever it is I offer you, which is earth related, it is all for your good.
And you're going to feel that when you're interacting with me, if we're friends or if we do business. In fact, that's a need that I have. I crave that.
It's
a drive. I'm driven.
You. Oh, thank you, everybody. We have, I think you were speaking there of Venus, Moon, Jen. I picked up, I was wondering. So you picked up on that. Let's find out. We have a few minutes. Are you all ready? Is there anything
Yeah,
more?
we know it had to be early 20th century.
Well, let's find out.
Was it World War I?
Well, we'll find. Yeah, there's clues. Anybody other wants to make any stab guesses?
Or the plague. I mean, that
the plague.
She said 20th century, though.
Had in...
No, right.
Here's our stage with the astrological dice getting thrown and the characters. Guess what? Pope Francis.
Wow.
Really?
And
Oh,
I was
Oh.
amazed. I have here now, Pope Francis was born, yes, in 1936 on December 17th in Buenos Aires in Argentina at 9 p.m. He's a night child, and his sun is in the 6th house, and it's conjunct that north node. However, the most fascinating thing is I did a solar arc, and for those people that are wondering, what's that? It's a timing system where every year, every sign according from the sun moves 1 degree, and it's a timing situation. Are there connections? Does every 30 years it goes, and what is it? And then I did the transits because he just made a landmark statement that really got my attention when he said, hey folks, let's look at all people as equal, that homosexuality has its place. It's not criminalized. We're being sinful not to have charity, is as he put it. So in other words, it's not that it's judgmental. It's just we all have our issues, and it's okay. We're all born how we're born.
And there's his Aquarius moon and Venus
yeah.
ruling
And
his MC, and then
That,
the moon on his ascendant.
Saturn in that Pisces house, that is about dissolving tradition, the things that don't serve tradition, because there's a lot of traditions we have in our world today that don't really serve the greater good or like wholeness.
yeah, and the mystic pragmatic mystic, which is also in Saturn and Neptune.
Saturn, Neptune, yeah.
Yeah.
That
And the other thing is,
yeah.
look at this T square with Pluto between the three. I was just dumbfounded. The transiting Pluto at 28 Capricorn is exactly opposite his natal Pluto of 28 Cancer. It's within minutes, meaning in, just minutes. Plus his solar arc is at 25, which is meaning that in some ways it's going to be 3 years before it actually gets, but it's still very close. It's all in cardinal signs. And the other issue is he has, the other one that's, because reading the transits, his natal Mercury, as was pointed out, is 11 degrees Capricorn, 48 minutes, and transiting, because we're not exactly sure. We know it was the 24th. I really honed it down and looked at it. It was the 24th, although it was publicized on the 25th. And so maybe it was noon, something like that. But it was still 10 degrees. It was right within a degree. So his thinking factors were right on.
This chart
and then
makes sense. This chart makes sense for him. This is his mission in the world. And think about that, what Pluto in Cancer, what it is trying to do. We're talking about the family.
Yes, nurturing the family.
Well, it's not even nurturing. It's tearing down what we think of as outsiders in the family. And we're all a part of the same human race. And so what is family? Everybody is family. And Cancer isn't going to, it's going to do its best to protect the family. And he's talking about the human race. So you go back to that Saturn in Pisces opposed Neptune. He's fighting for the family of the human race and the inclusivity.
And what's so funny too, when you think of it, it's in conjunct that that sun in Sagittarius, and yet those are both working at the same purpose. Which you wouldn't really expect with that. So that's really beautiful.
It's so much that all of you said was as though you knew who it was. That's the beautiful part. This one was very dynamic. For instance, that God had wounded me and that I was thinking and needed goals, but yet that people were unable
the sword
to
of truth.
and dissolving, and how to get all the dynamics. Each and every one of you really spoke it beautifully. And I will mention with the slides, and I hope people can get to the for those that are listening to the podcast, perhaps look at the slides at Talk Cosmos YouTube channel, which we're glad to have you subscribe and follow, that Pope Francis, who was born December 17th, 1936 at 9 p.m., Buenos Aires, Argentina, is the first of many. At this point, he is the head of the Catholic Church, Bishop of Rome, and sovereign of the Vatican City-State. But he's the first member of Society of Jesus, which, not being Catholic, I don't know what that means, but according to the news, that's something. First from the Americas, I mean, South America, North America, the first from the Southern Hemisphere, and the first Pope from outside Europe since Pope Gregory III, which I have no idea, I'm not Catholic, but who was a Syrian who resigned in the 8th century. Thank you. That's like over 1,000 years ago. So
and isn't that interesting that about the resignation, because the Pope before him just died and he resigned.
Yeah. And now this business in the news, I think, is not serious at all, because he has no plan in resigning. He just had to write that because of the prior circumstance in order to be prepared. So, well, thank you. And Sean, I'm so glad you could join us. I don't know if you have time. I know you're on this long 9-hour road trip, so you may not be here for our second one, but you'll be listening. Okay.
Yes, I will. All right.
Okay. Well, we will come back. Yeah, thank you, Sean Kelly. We'll come back with Michael Bartlett.
Yay.
Jen, I want to say Inglis, not Jen. Jen,
Yes,
Jen, what's your last name? Jen?
Ing.
Ing. Thank you. That's right. Yes. And Marie O'Neill and myself. Okay. Be back in a moment. Thank you. While we take a break from this week's edition of Talk Cosmos, let's take a look at this cycle's archetype. We are currently in the Yang period of Aquarius, ruled modernly by Uranus, and Saturn in traditional astrology by the ancients. By leaving a cycle based on governing structures through both man-made and universal laws, Aquarius breaks established patterns, permitting the energy of freedom, just as its ruling planet Uranus spins on its side and orbits backwards. As a fixed air sign represented by the water bearer pouring the spirit of cosmic energy, Aquarius seeks to find like-minded, intuitively aligned souls to connect in social groups for the elevation and improvement of all.
This is Martha Norwalk,
No,
every
it's
Sunday morning,
okay.
beginning at 9
I
a.m.
only
Thanks
have
in part
half
to
an
Jude
hour and
Cotton
then
at the
we're
Whispering
off.
Dragon Center in Shoreline.
Thank you,
We
Dave.
cover the world of animals. This week, February 5th, it's Shelter Rescue Sanctuary and anything that helps our animal friends Sunday. We'll check in with our regulars, Meow Cat Rescue, Help Animals India, and Seattle Dogs Homeless Program. Plus, we'll chat with the Ananda Institute.
Talk Cosmos brings you leading-edge astrological conversations with hour-long programs each week on KKNW. The show goes live every Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific. Talk Cosmos weekly programs are also available to watch live on Facebook and YouTube, along with daily chats throughout the week on the Talk Cosmos YouTube channel. While you're there, make sure you click like and subscribe buttons so you can get the full Talk Cosmos experience. Or, if you'd rather listen to the show archives with audio only, the entire podcast collection since 2018 is available on most podcast carriers. So, grab your coffee, tea, or kombucha and enjoy the show.
Tell your friends about Alternative Talk 1150.
Hi, and welcome everybody, Astro Jam, our mystery chart time. And we have the fearsome foursome. Here we go. And before we start, I want to ask each one of you what you might have an event in a short period of moments, like 30 seconds or so, or something like that. Marie, we'll start with you. What have you got?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Thank you, Sue. That's wonderful to ask. I have a virtual healing retreat, my next one coming up on March 20th and 21st. This one is the focus or theme is simple astrology for everyday use. So it's a way to use astrology every day for people who are not astrologers. And we have 5 presenters and a panel discussion for that. So if you want to learn more about that, contact me, Marie, at padmalifecoaching.com.
Excellent.
That's coming up
Thank you.
immediately. So
send
yeah.
that information to me and I'll include it in my newsletter, which I'm always trying to redo.
Okay.
So
Shall do.
Michael, what do you have coming up, please?
Wednesday, I'm going to be speaking for the Brighton Astrology group. I'm speaking on the esoteric rulers of astrology, which are a whole different vibration of rulership for the zodiac. And then on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th of March, I'll be at the International Astrology Days in Istanbul, Turkey. So hopefully we'll be seeing some other friends there, which should be really exciting.
Wonderful. Now, briefly, what was this on the esoteric? Where was this again?
The Brighton Astrology group, Brighton Astrology Circle.
Okay, Brighton.
Which
Wonderful.
is Jeremy Venerables.
All right. So I guess if they contact you, you can tell them about that too.
Yeah, Michael at coremichael.com.
Okay. And Jennifer, what have you happening? I know many things.
I am currently working on my 12th house research project that was second place proposal in the OPA research grant, with Sophia Rain as first place and Renee Oshop tied second place as well. So I'm working on that with mentorship from Mitch Glenn Mitchell, and I am preparing for a talk for MJ Patterson's Halifax meetup group on timing techniques.
Wonderful. Very dynamic. Cosmos has Planet Buzz next week, and Leslie Francis, Master Astrologer, will be rejoining for that one event. And we'll be talking about Mercury and Pluto that are conjunct in Capricorn for the last time in 200 years, because it's at the very tail end, 28 degrees. So it'll be interesting conversation. Thank you. Okay, we're back to AstroJam with our mystery clues. And David, if we can have those slides again. Thank you. Okay, and thank you so much for bringing it back to that point. So here we have, and I did finish with Pope Francis. I didn't realize I had that it declares that his speech was on the 24th, and his acknowledgement of decriminalizing the homosexuality. So, and there again is his natal chart for those that want to see it in all its reality. By itself, away from the and I didn't realize I had all these. I worked pretty hard on all of these. And also that we have his natal with the transit so that you can see it more clearly, because sometimes 3 charts are a little tricky to realize. And then again, with the transits, and then one with the anyway, you can review that. So back to the drawing board. I'll wait till get a big breath here. So we'll the same format. We'll start in, and I think in the earlier parts, does anybody want to start instead of me? I don't need to be the one to start.
No, we'll just throw it out.
Okay, here we go. Where is it?
Is this what was the hint?
The mystery clue, once again, is 20th century chart. That's our big clue. Little bit, but at least we're not back to the 1800s.
That's a huge clue there,
yeah,
Sue.
last century was a little bit concrete, but you can tell a little bit if you look at things like Pluto. Pluto. I'll be Pluto. I am going to dig down to the roots beyond, because basically I am composting. I'm getting those new seeds of creation to get out. I'm very strongly attracted to what I once thought was beautiful. I'm not sure. Let me figure it out. But it's got to be something that has new life.
Well, I am the South Node in Cancer in the 12th. And my primary goal for myself is to heal. I'm healing my prior trauma with family, with everything related to nurturing myself and in being a part of society, a part of the family. And it's not easy because it's my natural way of being to give and not to receive. I haven't learned to do that yet. And I do need to pull in to do that, to be by myself sometimes, to go to the mountaintop, to learn to stand up for myself, to learn to be more assertive. And it's just not easy.
It's really about me. All my planets are below the horizon. I need a lot of downtime for myself. I need to really see how I feel, what I experience about life. My midheaven up in Pisces, I go out there and I just feel too much, and I've got my Cancer rising, and it's just, there's a lot out there, but I've got a pretty packed 6th house, and I'm here to be of service. I'm here to share a message and to guide people in a really pretty profound way. And I'm probably a bit of a force of nature to some people.
My early home experiences really influence my belief and how I give back to society. But I need a feeling of security as well. And I can be a bit finicky in particular with my finances and my belongings. I want things a certain way, especially if they're from a different culture or place. I like those kind of artifacts.
Yep. The more I think about it, that is so true, because I am Jupiter in the 3rd house in Virgo, and that moon of mine, we get along. I mean, because I look at my neighbors, and yet I'm really critical. I mean, what in the heck's happening? Do we have, maybe we can fix everybody and maybe we can't. But the point is, it's really, it should be neater. It should be more efficient. Life needs to have some kind of efficiency. And it seems like, and I know there was a lot of criticism. There is that part of life, but oh my gosh. On the other hand, I'm feeling the spiritual, pragmatic. Well, I don't know if that's really acceptable. Is it acceptable to have? I see my Neptune. It's like, is that acceptable? I don't know.
Well, go ahead.
I would say that some people might find me a bit judgmental, but I think that they're just more opinions that are backed up from what I observe and my belief systems and, who I talk to and what I see around me. But I'm a pretty practical person, and I have ambitions, and I work really hard, and I'm driven at that. And I feel that I'm used to being by myself. I like being by myself, but having to put myself out there can sometimes feel uncomfortable. I've had to work with that. That's my Sun in Capricorn with my North Node in Capricorn and South Node in the 12th.
Well, I love researching. I know that I know what I know, and my mind can't be changed because I am Mercury in Sagittarius in the 5th house, actually really I could say that I'm in partnership with Mars too. And so I know how to dig in. I know how to speak with authority. I know how to have a goal and shoot for that goal. And I know how to help others to do the same, which is what I do on a daily basis. I am perceived as more of not just a teacher, but a master. I am more of a tenured professor, you should say, rather than someone who is just starting out.
I have Chiron in Leo in my first house. And so, I have a little bit of a wound. I have a little bit of a way in which I probably wasn't favored very well. There were issues with my dad. He was really absent, that Saturn in Aquarius. That relation, there's boundaries and there's rules, but where is he in the mass of it? And so some people probably, when they meet me, they don't really quite know who I am, or I might be a little bit of a shapeshifter with that Chiron in Leo. And some people might see one type of me one way and another type another. I really like acting. I like putting on a play and showing different parts of myself to others.
If I'm of service, is that the deal, or am I a servant? It's really who's in control of all this, because there's so much energy that I'm feeling, that sun, the direction I'm trying to go. But then, it's in Capricorn, I'm like the ruler. Yet it seems like, and I'm going to get things serving that rulership. That's what I think. I think that's it.
I may have had to work through feelings of insecurity and self-esteem with my Chiron in first house and my pact sixth house, and having experiences with consequences and authority and father figures. But my values run deep.
My Venus in Scorpio with Pluto in Scorpio means that I'm a little careful about who I get close to. And I'm also willing to cut out people who really don't quite fit with what it is they work with, because it's important for me to understand, with my Saturn just barely above the horizon, that's the only planet I have above the horizon. And sometimes it's really important for me just to kind of step back and see, is this okay for me?
Well, yeah. And I have Neptune in Capricorn. Let's get real with spirituality, with creativity. Let's just get real. We want the truth. We want reality. We don't want anything out there way woo-woo. Show me the reality here. And it's got to be experiential.
And I think I like to teach or write or have those thoughts published, but I like to be at home more than being out and traveling. I like to be in my inner world, and that gives me privacy and a sense of familiarity, maybe from a past life with my South Node in the 12th house.
Mm-hmm.
And while many people will experience me as being very idealistic and kind of like a little bit, maybe sometimes pie in the sky with my Sagittarius Mercury and Sagittarius Mars, my practicality, I really have learned that sometimes things just come to me in the moment, and and I really have learned to trust my intuition.
Let's find out. We have a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do the next. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and here is, well, you will be surprised because you never know. I'm trying to get rid of that.
Should we guess?
It's going to be like,
yeah, go ahead and guess.
In
Any ideas?
30s?
Huh?
Well, it has to be somebody I mean, what? Go back to the
Pluto.
chart. The person had to be born
Pluto
with
and
that.
This is someone.
Scorpio.
This is someone in the
Like
90s,
80s or yeah.
Yeah.
late 80s, early.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? It's showing what it is.
Oh.
It is the
Oh,
Russian
wow.
Federation, because I don't always do a person. I'm so
Yes.
sorry. Yeah.
Ah,
And it's
yeah.
been the
Wow.
flag raised in 1991. And I used Nicholas
Uh,
Nick Campion's book because Solar Fire has a little earlier. But when I research, I really try to research. It's very difficult when it gets to these either businesses or events because of the different timing. But Gorbachev resigned at 9:12 or 5:12 GMT, which is what Solar Fire has. But according to Nicholas Campion, it was the flag was actually raised at this time because other charts have, as we know, the ascendant can change, has Leo, but this shows Cancer rising, which, you know, I thought to myself too, is the motherland. They always talk about Russia, the motherland. Yeah. So
I know
here
it's right.
Yeah. And very interestingly, I'm trying to get this thing off my computer.
That's interesting. Neptune in Capricorn with the religion. It's really not about. It's like, let's get real with this. It's actually more cut and dried, more cold.
Yeah, and look at this. When it goes into the solar arc, I could not believe how many things are conjunct. Like if you take the natal Saturn in Aquarius, there in the 6th house, it is conjunct the sun at 5 degrees. Like as of today. This is as of today. 5 degrees.
Well, that's 6 degrees, isn't it? Or is that 5?
No, it's
like
5. I know.
It's
I have
5?
to get my glasses on. It's 5. Yeah,
It's like
5 degrees.
5. Okay.
Believe me, I have this little magnifier, and I don't. Oh, what is this? Because
that's so beautiful in that there's sometimes, you know, where it's you know, what are we doing right now? We're illuminating their authenticity, their, you know, their their statehood in a sense.
And as the other, like it was meant, like the boundaries, like what are their boundaries? Is it going to be new, different, whatever? Then you get natal series, which is, and I'm sorry I didn't put the names up in Sag, but the Venus is exactly within minutes conjunct that. The solar, we're talking about solar arc. That's right. Solar arc is a measuring. So this is a time where their sense of what nourishes them, what's truly going to nourish them as a country is getting some focus internally, you would say, beyond that what we know. And then their natal Mercury in Sagittarius also down there that, Jen, you were talking about publishing. It's so true when you think of the communists or the propaganda, yeah. And the solar arc south. Do I have this? Do I have that right? No. What do I have here? 11 degrees. I don't see it.
The south node is 11 degrees Leo.
Right.
Is it? Oh, yeah, I see it square. Oh, but why do I put that in? You know what? Let's skip that one. Let's go into, I do this kind of. So Uranus, though, which is.
Trines. The south node to the Mercury trines. Leo.
Yeah, no, it's Mercury. Oh, it should be. I see. My notes got mixed up, but it's Mercury is on top of so it's a lot of thinking.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, maybe I should correct.
Yeah, it's a trine. The solar arc nodes and south node is trine that natal Mercury.
Okay.
And then Mercury's right on the Uranus, which is, I mean, you know, and then that Venus Pluto together. With the series, and it would definitely bring in that Mars. I mean, that's like, you can tell this, you know, he's like a bone, you know, Putin's like he's the dog that is not gonna let go of that bone.
Right. No. He's not.
And there's a thing of pride with that Chiron and Leo in the 1st house, you know, that the injury to pride.
And the reunification, right? His big dream is the reunification of that which came before. And that's, you know, what we're talking about, that Uranus, Neptune in Capricorn. It's like that which came before can't really ever be again.
No. and Pluto going into Aquarius, that's going to be huge for them.
I tried to go forward, and it seems in 2026 there's some big things happening. Yeah. So it's going to be a time factor, whether it has to do with Putin
Right.
or whether it's the people themselves.
Well, but the people in Russia, I understand, are backing him.
You think
It's
so?
starting to shift because, you know, that
I would think
propaganda
so.
machine has, you know, the ways in which information is available is changing how these autocracies can actually run.
Yeah. That's true. And yeah.
So if they can't, I mean, I think the people, and especially I can't imagine those individuals who are Russians who have family members in Ukraine and are hearing them. I mean, what we're doing anywhere we're doing it in the world, anywhere where we're doing, I mean, look at us, what a wonderful representation of humanity we have here. You know, understanding we're all humans. I mean, this whole ridiculousness, we're all related to one another, for crying out loud.
That's right. That's true.
Well, isn't that what the Pope said?
Yeah, it is. And the very
Aquarian.
fact that with Pluto going into Aquarius, I think we've said this, it's like, but the networking, you know, are we networking? Aquarius wants that. Yeah, it is interesting.
And what will be the shadow elite? I mean, I always love it when we're getting ready to switch like these big changes, and because we all go to idealism, but it's like, you know, but what is the shadow side of that?
Oh, yeah.
Because Aquarius is a real elitist.
It is. It's like,
It is.
I've got my people that understand my way. That's my
And everyone else can go go somewhere.
But isn't that how we
yeah.
ended up with the revolutions? We had the French Revolution, the U.S. Revolution, all of that happened the last time Pluto was in Aquarius.
Yeah,
But we also had good things happening.
Oh,
with-
yes,
with
absolutely.
Pluto in
Because
Aquarius.
change, it is this illustrious, that's how I was kind of thinking what with Pluto there. But as we know, it purges, it's obsessive about attaching itself to whatever it is. So
Yeah, we're going to get a little taste of a hint in March.
A little toe, as it were, into the pond.
Little toe.
It's interesting that Marie mentioned about revolutions, because right now, even though we're not under monarchies, there is a monarchy economically, and that it relates to technology like energy sources, and that Aquarians is about freedom. And if we can have technology or free energy, that can revolutionize people's freedoms and our
Hello,
infrastructures.
Tesla, the Aquarian, right? And also, look at what we're doing. You know, the government now is going after Google, and I forget what the other one it went after this week. You know, because I mean, these too big to fail everyone else.
Yeah. But you know, just the thing about the Aquarius, that I was watching Rick Levine's talk on 2023, and he talked about with Pluto and Aquarius, we're going to have something come along that is actually bigger than the internet.
Well, AI,
Because
we've got AI
yeah.
already. You know, that's really messing with, you know, seeing that you can create these images that look like you or have yourself redone. I think that's another, the AI thing is already kind of giving a taste of Pluto and Aquarius.
That just shakes up my whole sense of my own autonomy. I don't care what else, but it's like, I can make my own mistakes. I don't need other people inventing them.
Or clones.
Well, I just want to clean the house.
That's it.
And cook.
Oh my God.
A little bit, maybe.
Now we have a minute here.
Of course, yeah.
We can segue off with a little of the sound. Thank you very much, Marie O'Neill, Michael Bartlett, and Jennifer Ng. It's been a real treat. It's such a pleasure. So the next one will be in April, and I will send it out. So remember, the 5th Sunday, everybody. So subscribe, connect, enjoy the retreat that Marie has come up, all the lectures with Michael and Jen that's preparing, and next week with Planet Buzz. It'll be fun. Oh, yes. Blessings to all. Love you. Yes.
It's lunchtime.
Oh, there's a Taurus moon.
Oh.
This is so fun.
Thank you for joining us on Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and her panel of guests connect soul growth patterns with the energetic cycles of astrology. Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time to continue your journey through the roots of the cosmic pathway.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guest, and